Obama's ruining the coal industry.
Policies that the current administration's got is attacking my livelihood.
They're wanting to close these mines down. I got little ones at home, a wife that's needing me.
We have 250 years of coal. Why wouldn't we use it? Utility bills are up. People wonder how they're going to have a brighter future if they can't see how they can make it to the end of the next month.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
That was one of Mitt Romney's new ads attacking this one, President Obama's energy policies. But how effective is it really? Joining me now to discuss is Wall Street Journal senior economics writer Steve Moore. Steve, welcome.
Hi, Mary.
Steve, now that ad showed a lot of very unhappy people. It had some pretty dismal quotes in there, but there weren't a lot of specifics about the president's policies. Yet you say ads like this one are a good thing, that you like this new ad campaign. Why?
Well, I like this particular ad. Maybe it's because, Mary, I live in Virginia, which is a coal-producing state. And the war on coal is very real, as we've talked about many times on the Wall Street Journal editorial page. I mean, Barack Obama hates fossil fuels, and his administration, Lisa Jackson at EPA, are doing everything they can to put coal out of business. And this is a major source of electricity for the United States. It's cheap and it's abundant and it's domestic fuel. And by the way, in states like Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, it supplies a lot of jobs, Mary. So I like the concept of the ad saying, look at what this president is doing in these key battleground states.
But
some of the other ads he's running, I'm not so high on.
Yeah, okay. Well, first, just on this one, sorry if I'm pressing a little bit here, but what exactly are they so unhappy about? They never tell us. What are the policies that the campaign should be talking about?
Well, when it comes to energy policy, I mean, I think you're right that Mitt Romney needs to be more specific about how he really does believe in fossil fuels, how he wants to go after the abundant resources that we have in coal, natural gas, and oil. But what I am troubled by is some of these other ads, because as you know, the big story this week is that Romney is unrolling a number of new ads. The other ones that I've seen, you won't like nearly as much as even this one, Mary.
Okay, but Steve, what is the point of this new ad campaign? How are they trying to rebrand Mr. Romney if they can do that?
Okay, so let me talk about a couple of these other new ads. I mean, for example, the one that they put a lot of advertising muscle behind is one that says, you know, it has Mitt Romney speaking, and it says, Mitt Romney is pro-small business. Mitt Romney cares about middle-class families. Mitt Romney wants to tackle the deficit. But it's the very problem that you mentioned from the outset, Mary. There are no details about exactly how Mitt Romney wants to do that. Of course, every American wants to do all those things. I mean, Barack Obama wants to do those things, Mary, but it's a question of how do you do it? And this is the frustration that I think all of us have had for the last month or so, that Mitt Romney isn't saying, look, here's how my tax restructuring plan is going to create jobs. Here's how my energy plan is going to lead to more jobs for coal miners and for the energy sector. The connecting of the dots has been missing.
Steve, in your political diary column today, it's up on WSJ.com, you also expressed another frustration with the candidate himself. How much do these ads really matter if Mr. Romney can't connect with voters when he's out on the stump?
Yeah, I mean, there's a real fear. I mean, I almost hesitate to say this, but among the political pros that I'm talking to, they're starting to say, boy, Mitt Romney looks like he's the Republican Michael Dukakis. And that's not a compliment. And the problem is Mitt Romney has been unable to make that kind of connection with voters that you have to do if you're president. And I think that's why these debates are going to be so, so critical, because, you know, this is one of the last chances that Mitt Romney has to connect with the American people and explain his economic program.
Steve, we're going to talk about this issue with another one of our colleagues, James Freeman, on the next segment. But since you're sitting inside the Beltway, I want your view on it, too. What is the take and the feedback that you're getting on Mr. Romney's 47% comments? Is it a killer blow to the campaign, or is it something that he can get past?
You know, I don't think it is. Maybe I'm a minority opinion, but a lot of people a day after, I mean, the first day everybody's saying, oh, this is a disaster. But you know what? I think that a lot of the American people agree with exactly the problem. I mean, we've run many editorials on this at the Wall Street Journal saying, look, this is a problem that almost half Americans pay no federal income tax. Now, of course, a lot of these Americans pay payroll tax. But Mary, what that's saying is that you've got almost half Americans who are not paying for our national defense, paying for our court system, for the war on terrorism. I mean, I do think that's a problem. And I think Mitt Romney ought to say, as we said in our editorial today, look, the problem in America is too many people have become dependent on government because we've expanded these programs like food stamps so much. And the best way to help those people is to give them a job.
Okay, senior economics writer Steve Moore on Mr. Romney's efforts to rebrand himself in the new ad campaign. Steve, thanks so much for being with us.